But I was after I got electrocuted, and I was sitting there on the ground, and I was supposed to be acting dead, and my wife and daughter were on the set, and they got a real kick out of this. But Jared thought it was hugely funny to sit there and smack me in the back of the head with the electrical cord that I had been electrocuted by.
They think it's funny too.
They thought it was funny. Well, there you go. You've got their sense of humor. But I mean, it's pretty much a constant with those two, and it makes it so much fun. Those guys are the best. They're so much fun to be around and work with, and they got. I'm sucking up. I'm trying to bring back Samuel for the 8th time. No, they're a lot of fun to work with.
Anything to add?
Are you talking to me now?
I'm talking. Well, you do hate Canadian women, so.
I love Canadian women. You got Trisha Helfer.
Yes, we do, Trisha.
In red.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Do they play with me and give me trouble? Yes. The big one shakes me at will. Picks me up and shakes me at will. Well, he's no better. He jammed a bag of honey in my face the other day. Trying to do a serious scene. At least they haven't got their foot in my crotch. It's weird, man. It's a weird show. It's a weird show because when you try to be really serious. I was sick. Like, I was doing an episode that may or may not be on next week. Unless, of course, I'm dead and who knows, whatever. But, and I was really ill. I had 103 fever and tonsillitis. And I had to go to the doctor on the way to the set. And they're like, you need to go to bed. I'm like, I need to go to set. So they couldn't give me the really good drugs, because then I would have just gone to sleep. So I'm waiting to be able to take the really good drugs to knock me out. And I'm sitting there in the freezing cold for an hour and a half, and comes up to my part, and I start doing my side. And Jensen just looks at me and goes, can we get somebody else to do the lines? I can't hear them. They're mean to me. They're mean, but they're big. I mean, you know the little one? He's not little, he's big. It's not like they're not short, right? He's big, they're big. They just pick me up and shake me and push me and kick me and stuff. It's not fun.
So how does that atmosphere, Misha, we touched on this earlier, differ from the set of 24 for you guys?
Oh, that's right, we all have that in common.
We're all on 20, is it a 24 panel now?
I'm going to ask you the same thing about X-Files.
Okay.
24?
No, I never.
Oh, we did 24.
So you two did it. You did
the X-Files.
Talk about X-Files, and then we'll talk about 24.
Oh, it was the switch. I'm sure there's 20 shows we've all done.
They're all the same.
It's the same show. I give the same performance in everything that I'm in.
And performance is a strong word.
See what I mean? I rest my case. 24, look, Firefly is notorious for the fact that it was cheap shot. It was a cheap shot.
You said that.
Good one.
I was on a plane with Nathan yesterday, and we were talking about how it was different, and it really was different. It was such an intense experience. We were doing so much so quickly, but everybody was really, really close. And when it ended, it was a shock to everybody. And then I didn't really get that feeling until I went to Battlestar, and then Battlestar has that same thing where everybody's in it together, fighting to get it done. And then you get to Supernatural, and you realize it's really hard to get everything done that we want to get done, and the boys just make it harder. But
Oh, they do.
It is.
Don't shake your head.
They do, because it's when you're doing something that's hard to do, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of intensity. The play is hard, but the fun is hard. You know, it has to be.
Recently, Jensen, you know those little gum packs, the blister pack gum that, I don't know what it is, like Dentine Ice or something,
Yeah.
that come in those little sort of
Push out things. Right?
push out things. He took one of those and put it in the eyepiece of the camera with the sharp angle edge pointing inward. And the cameraman, poor Brad, was like, all right, roll it over. and stuck the thing in his eye. And was so literally, Jensen felt terrible and bought him a bottle of scotch, and his eye is okay. But it could have not been okay, you know. That's the kind of thing, like when you're poking out the cameraman's eye, you know you're sort of encumbering production a little bit.
Jared's supposed to be giving me off-camera dialogue, and he's busy adjusting the camera.
Oh yeah, well he also Brad suffers more than any of us, but Brad will be behind the camera. And when you're doing off-camera dialogue, this is very technical, and I don't expect you to understand it, but it just means the other guy that you're not seeing talking at a given point, they stand right next to the camera so that your eye line is taken toward the camera. And that means you're right next to Brad, the cameraman, a lot of time, which means that Jared is right next to Brad, which means that Brad is suffering. And for instance, one of the things that he loves to do to pass the time while he's doing off-camera dialogue,
changes gears,
is change the focus, obviously, or take a pair of tweezers and pull out Brad's ear hair.
He put his ear hair out, and his nose hair with a pair of pliers.
And Brad is holding the camera, so he can't move, and he can't even laugh, and he can't fight back, and he's completely defenseless. He's like a tiny baby rabbit. And that's when Jared likes to kick you, you know, when you can't fight back. And of course, it's very difficult to do your on-camera performance.
So you're trying to be serious.
When you're watching Brad be tortured like that. Because all you want to do is laugh. It's funny.
So when you see the gag reel is full of our reactions to what they're doing behind the camera. So, you know. You got it too.
Mitch, has this been your experience? How does that compare to X-Files?
Well, you know, fortunately, when the crew that we had on, the crew that they got on Supernatural, most of them were the same crew that we had on the X-Files, which was for me just such a luxury to go up there and work with those people who were, you know, a family, were my family for 5 years. So that aspect of it was constant. And then you got these two knuckleheads. It's just they're big. They're big. You know, and Jared especially, it's like, you know, I'm in pretty good shape. I stay in pretty good shape. So I had to, you know, and once again, my wife and daughter were on the set. They came up from LA to visit, and I had some blood on my shirt, so I had to change shirts. So I took my shirt off on the set. And my wife goes, "Oh, you look good." And she goes, "Let's get Jared in here and have him take his shirt off. see how good you look." You know, so, I hate you.
Have you ever wondered where they get their ideas for fan fiction? You just nailed it.
The shipping thread for this one is going to be forever.
It's like, you know, I tell you, it's like I was leaving the set one day with my wife and daughter, and Jared comes walking off the set at the sound stage. He's got a shirt on, and as he's walking towards the car, and my wife and my daughter, my 14-year-old daughter, he just takes his shirt and he just goes. It just rips it off, and the guy is ripped. I mean, he's just, it's like, and I said, I hate you. I hate you so much.
17 years old. That's why.
Exactly, you know, really, it's like, but it makes it so much fun, because a lot of times it can be tedious, and they keep such a great, you know, a great sense of humor about what they're doing. I mean, we had a little bit of that on the X-Files. The X-Files was definitely more serious. I mean, David Reed could get goofy every once in a while, and I would follow suit. But it's yeah, you got these two guys who just love to have a great time, and it makes those long days bearable.
Fantastic. I think you guys probably have some questions for these guys. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Didn't they ask him for